Another major place the chiropractor will adjust or crack is on both sides of your spine. You could easily do this by standing up and then taking your left arm and then raising your left arm quickly over your head and then reaching toward the right. And as you do this, you want to lean to the right and you'll feel the cracking sensation occur all along the left-hand side of your spine. And then you want to repeat this on the right-hand side of your spine. So you will raise your right arm up, quickly over your head, while leaning and reaching to the left. So this is a stretching motion that they'll often teach in different exercise classes. So when you are first starting out, you may want to stretch for a little bit and get yourself loosened up and do a series of arm stretches over your head and gradually build up so that you are doing it with a little more speed and force every time, but never so much that it feels uncomfortable. Also, if you've ever seen boxers getting warmed up before a match, you will notice that they are taught the same thing, only they bend their elbows and place both of their gloves underneath their chin, and then they quickly lean from side to side while bending the upper part of their torso, while keeping their waists relatively straight. So it is kind of like a large joint in your upper body that people ignore. And over time, energy builds up there and develops into back problems and hunchbacks. In a chiropractor's office, they are able to crack this location along your spine by having you lay on your side while propping up your head with your arm like this. Then they press down on your upper arm and shoulder. So if you're having trouble cracking that location, you could also stack a few pillows on the floor about 3 or 4 high, and then you lean on your side with your arm up around your head. So you will press the underside of your arm, your shoulder, and your head against a stack of pillows. And this should bend your torso the same way as the overhead reaching stretch, and should also produce the same cracking sensation. The next section of the report is called proper oxygen levels. Like I said before, your respiratory system is the driving engine of your chakra system. So keeping your respiratory system in good working order is very important. And that includes keeping windows open and constantly introducing fresh air into your living space, especially in the winter. So you cannot keep the windows shut all the time. So you should keep a few windows cracked open all day for ventilation. And then you will need to open up several windows for a couple hours to air out your house in the morning and night. Otherwise, oxygen levels will drop in your living space. When people have gotten cabin fever, it's due to keeping the windows shut for long periods of time, often with a fire burning in the fireplace, killing all the oxygen in the living space. So they have been taught incorrectly to shut themselves in and not allow any fresh air in. And they all end up getting sick and going crazy because their brains are not receiving proper oxygen. So do not deprive your body of one of the most important things it needs, which is proper oxygen. So this is very easy to do in the spring and summer. But when it starts getting cold, you could try airing out one part of your house at a time. For example, if you live in a 1-bedroom apartment, open the windows in your bedroom and then close the door while you stay in the living room for an hour. And then later on, close the windows in your bedroom and go in your bedroom where you can keep warm while you air out the living room for an hour. And try to do this for a couple times a day in the morning and night. And if you are worried about the pipes freezing, just let the water trickle through the faucets a little bit while the windows are open. Just don't open up all the windows and leave the house. Make sure you're keeping an eye on everything. And also, especially in the winter, you want to make sure you keep the humidity up. During the winter months, the humidity always drops, so you may need to get a humidifier. And just know that electric space heaters, the kind that you plug into the wall, they dry up the air very quickly. And dry air will quickly dry up your nose and your sinuses and cause some breathing problems. So always be conscious of the air in your living space. Make sure you have good ventilation and proper humidity levels. What is also very important to understand is that even though it is not good for us, we keep many chemicals in our living spaces that release harmful vapors that are not healthy to breathe. For example, some of us keep huge oil tanks that are filled with hundreds of gallons of diesel gasoline. That's what an oil tank is filled with, diesel gas. So all winter long, your homes fill up with diesel fumes. And everybody knows it's not good to breathe gas fumes. And people also will keep dozens of bottles of chemicals from spray paint, cleaning fluids, etc. And all of these chemicals release vapors that begin to build up in your living space, especially when we refuse to open up our windows all winter long. So what's funny is that we even treat the fish in a fish tank better by constantly changing the water or using oxygen filtration systems. So your families deserve to be treated as good as you treat your fish. So make sure you get some fresh air into your house during the winter. So I bet that sometime in the future, people will come to understand that keeping a bunch of chemicals in their unventilated living spaces is not the best idea. However, the people who are currently in control of our country basically hate the citizens of the United States and want to kill huge numbers of you. So you will never hear it from the psychotics who make it a practice to pollute everything that they could possibly destroy. So the corporate military will often sell dangerous products in local stores, some which are designed that way on purpose. And I spoke in great deal about this in two important videos called Oil Death and Gov Alien Affairs, both of which can be found on this channel. So try to keep much of your paint, varnish, and anything else that is known to release vapors in a place that could be aired out or as far away from your personal space as possible, like in a shed. So sometimes if you live in an apartment or something, this is not easy to do, which is why I tell you that you must air out your houses. And last, the military has something like a heat gun, and they could aim that at your house, and that will affect the temperature and oxygen levels in your house. So do yourself a favor and air out your houses for a couple hours in the morning and night, because you are asking for a lot of pain and defeat if you don't listen to this simple advice. Another tactic of the military is to spy on you using cameras in your computer and cell phone. Everybody has cameras in their computers and cell phones these days, and you use them to take photos of your everyday life. But the sad truth is that these same cameras can be used by the police state to spy on you whenever they want. So make sure that your cell phone is in a drawer when not in use, and especially when you are meditating or working on something. Also cover up the cameras on your computer or wherever else you may have them. So this is a reality. They do not need cameras on lampposts to spy on you these days. They just use the ones all around you that you don't take notice of, because this is how they can attack you the best, by physically seeing where you are and what you are doing. So just cover them up with some tape and a little piece of cardboard, or place the device away in a drawer. So this is how they went about attacking me, and attempted to fool me into believing that changing positions and meditation was wrong. So don't give these people the upper hand by being able to spy on you through your own electronic devices. And the last subject I will discuss in this report concerns your friends and family. Do not let the military isolate you and stop you from seeing your friends and loved ones. A major tactic the military uses to destabilize your life is to surround and program your closest friends and family members and attempt to cause problems in your personal life. And the military will program them not to call you, to feel nervous when they think about you, and to remember the bad times instead of the good times. And they do this because they know that these are the people who are in your immediate support base. So do not be surprised if your friends or family members ever act nervous around you, standoffish, or argumentative, especially if you have not gone to see them or call them in a little while. So that means that you have to call or go visit your friends and family every couple of days, if not every day, to make sure everything is going okay with them. Remember, What you are dealing with is conscious energy that will affect everyone around you and everyone you know. So by calling or seeing your friends and family will help support them and also help rid them of this plasma energy. As you go through life with these radio frequency weapons on you, you will find out that you are a magnet for this plasma energy. And the energy that you pick up off of regular people will actually help you. So don't ever be afraid of going out in public or going out to see your friends and families. Because this is exactly what the military will attempt to instill in you. And they will attempt to program you into believing that your friends and family members will be better off if you just left them alone, because that will keep them out of this. And the military will also try to convince you that you're dealing with too much energy already, so you can't possibly deal with anything more. And this is how the US military and the Vatican isolates people and then surrounds them with only their garbage. And these agents will sit in their houses every day, staring out their windows at your house, staring out their windows at your friend's house, and staring out their windows at your family's house. And they will hit you all with these radio frequency weapons while focusing all their hate onto you and working to link their disgusting consciousness onto you, to program all of your people to forget each other, to get into fights with each other, as they work to turn your lives into a nightmare. So by going out when you need to and seeing your friends and your family will fill you with an energy that will actually help you get rid of some of the tougher implants. Because now you have an energy going through you from regular people who are not trying to hang on to this energy or control you with it. None of the regular people will be using radio frequency weapons on you or doing everything in their power to hold on to these implants. So the plasma energy that you pick up off of regular people helps get the rest of it out. So there is never too much energy. The more energy you have, the more energy you have to remove the buildups in your system. So the military and the Vatican would like nothing more than for you to isolate yourself on your street with just their agents and hate to go out in public and never want to call or see your friends and family who they are also trying to drive crazy. So you have to be the strong one. You have to be the one to hold your friends and your family together. You have to be the one to call your friends, to find out how they are doing and what they are up to offer your support and hold the weight by taking these things off of your people so they will continue to see things clearly.